What's up, everybody? Squirrel Man's back again. I'm sitting up here in Ohio. I'm still waiting for a load. Um, so I don't know how long that's going to be. I guess today's Super Bowl Sunday. Honestly, I don't watch football. I'm not really into sports. If it doesn't have an engine involved, I'm not really into it. Um, the reason why I was making this video is because there's something I don't talk about nearly enough, and that's your driver mentor and just the mentorship itself. Going on the road with a stranger for 2 weeks. Me personally, when I started with Pam, I had to wait a little longer than I wanted to get my mentor to get picked up, but everything worked out really smooth. My mentor was super awesome. He was really easy to get along with. Did I agree with everything he did? Of course not. But he was really cool, and everything worked out. I mean, I would have gave it a 4 out of 5 stars because nobody gets a perfect 5 stars. Biscuit, my buddy, he had the complete opposite experience. His mentor was a total nightmare, absolute pain in the ass. Like, he don't get Biscuit started talking about his damn mentor. It's so funny. Like, he hated that guy. You can get on YouTube and look at so many stories of people and their mentors. There was a real true story. I'm pretty sure this was CRST. A guy killed his mentor in the truck, and that's why I really wanted to bring this up. You don't need to get to that point, dude. You don't need to get to that point. There was a guy I went to school with at the training school. He got in the truck with his mentor and didn't even last 2 days. And he got out the truck and got a cab, took a plane home. To me, honestly, that guy must have been... I remember that guy, and he was a pain in the ass. So I don't know what he had going on with his mentor, but I know I wouldn't jump out after 2 days. It would have to be really bad for me to jump out after only 2 days when you're only supposed to be out there for 2 weeks, 2 weeks on the road is easy. If you can't do 2 weeks, this job ain't for you, One thing I can say is don't let it get to that point to where you want to choke the guy, you want to fight the guy. If you're, and this goes out to the mentor and the student. Okay, first, let's talk to the mentor. If you're the mentor and your student is a total pain in the ass, you need to immediately call your boss, whoever you report to about this, and say, hey, this ain't working out. I'm going to drop this guy off somewhere. You need to separate yourself from that person immediately, as fast and safely and calmly and cool as you can, because it doesn't need to get to that point. For $400, I think the mentors make like $400 every student. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's not worth it, man. It's really not worth it. Because you have a job to do, and you're supposed to set an example. And the other thing is, you really need to learn how to talk to people, because every student that gets in your truck is going to be a different person. They're going to have different insecurities, different things they're sensitive about or maybe not sensitive about, different political views. So every person is going to be different. So you need to find a universal way of communicating and teaching a student. At the end of the day, you need to trust the person, right? My mentor was really cool because he just threw caution to the wind. He didn't know me from a can of paint, and he just let me drive the truck. And the only time he ever really bitched at me about anything was saying, hey, you're not looking at your mirrors enough, and maybe I'd come into a parking lot too strong, too fast. He really didn't bug me about too much, man, because he saw I could operate the truck. I could keep it going down the highway safely. Every once in a while he'd be like, hey, you're doing good, but you just need to work on this a little bit. If you're a mentor and you're sitting there constantly heckling somebody all day long, do this, do that, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you're going to drive that person crazy, because these people are adults. They don't want to be heckled like they're a little kid and like they're in kindergarten. They don't want to deal with that. It's going to drive them nuts, So be careful, pick your battles wisely, learn how to counsel and ridicule in a professional way, be cool about it. Pick your surroundings wisely. If you're going to approach somebody about a certain thing, Make sure you do it at the right time, not when you're going 70 down the interstate. There's certain things you don't bring up when the truck's moving. You just don't. Say, hey, wait till we're sitting in a diner and then, talk about certain things, So that's going out to the mentor. Now I want to talk to the student. Okay, first of all, this is not your truck. If I'm the mentor, this is my truck, not yours. You don't own anything on this truck. I let you come on this truck. Yeah, I'm getting paid for it, but I can easily get rid of you. This is not your truck. I saw a video where this woman was on a truck with a male driver or mentor, which to me, I would be scared to death to do that. To take a strange female on my truck for 2 weeks. I don't know anything about this woman. She could be totally crazy. She could make up serious lies about me and get me in trouble just because she wants to be an asshole. Like, to me, honestly, if I was a mentor, I would be like, I'm not taking females on my truck. I'm sorry. I don't want the liability. But this woman said, she immediately claimed the bottom bunk and said, no, this is mine. No, we're not doing that, dude. This is my truck. And you and every other student on this truck sleeps on the top bunk. So you better get your fat ass up there. You're not sleeping on my bed. I'm sorry, that's not happening. But to be fair, that video could have been fabricated, because a lot of these videos, you guys got to be careful about how you watch these videos now on the internet, because so many of them are fake. There's like so many fake videos on the internet now, and they do it just to get likes. But aside from that, if you're a student, you need to learn respect for that person's truck. And you need to learn and remember that you're only going to be on the truck for 2 weeks, dude. I mean, my program was 2 weeks. I know some people go longer. Some people even go months, which I think is ridiculous. If you can't learn how to safely operate this truck in 2 or 3 weeks, then maybe this job ain't for you. I could take any reasonable person that has the potential to operate this vehicle, and I could teach them everything they need to know to do the job in just a few weeks. I don't need to keep you out here for 3 months. No, I think that's ridiculous. But you need to respect that this is not your truck. You don't make the rules here. You need to remember that this is temporary. So you do it my way for a couple of weeks, and then when you get out of my truck and you get into your own truck, you can do whatever you want, dude. If you want piss jugs and freaking cat litter boxes everywhere and all sorts of nasty, disgusting crap that I see at these fuel aisles that these truckers do, then that's your truck, man. If you want your truck to smell like an armpit, that's your damn right, But if you're on my truck, you're going to stay clean. You're going to wash your ass at least every other day. You're going to respect my little space here. You're going to clean up after yourself. You're not going to be dropping food and trash and all sorts of junk on the floor. That's seriously disrespectful to do that in somebody's truck, because you look at it like a truck. This is my house. This is basically my living room. I live in this truck for weeks at a time. And some guys, they stay out here for months. Some guys live permanently in these trucks. They don't go home. There is no home. This is where they live. They just move all around the country making money. Maybe they're saving up money for a house or retirement, So you need to keep all that in your tiny little brain when you get into some guy's truck. And you also need to remember, you don't know this guy. You don't know what's ultimately going to set him off. So you don't come into his living room disrespecting him, thinking that you run stuff. Maybe people in your little bubble let you get away with that stuff where you live in your environment back home. But no, once you get onto a stranger's truck, you better learn how to act right, or you will get left in the middle of nowhere. Because if it was me and you're being a giant pain in my ass, I'm going to drop you at a truck stop. I'm going to watch you go in there, and I'm going to throw all your shit out into the parking lot, and then I'm going to drive off. Because at that point, I'm like, I've already talked to you. You don't want to listen, so it's goodbye, take a cab to the airport, dude. So those are the things you need to think about when you're going into, when you're getting into trucking, when you're getting ready to do a mentorship. And I don't want to freak you out, man, because I feel like a lot of these mentorships turn out really well. I think there's probably a lot more good mentors out there than there are bad ones. I think they know what they're getting into. They got to have above average patience to deal with a student I'm just trying to really paint a picture of the environment you're walking into. So don't feel like you're going to get onto a truck and the mentor is going to be a total jerk. It does happen, but I think a lot of it has to do with the way you talk to him and the way you guys communicate. There's certain things you don't want to get too personal with the guy. Asking him really personal stuff. Leave out politics. Don't talk about politics. That's a sure way to get people to butt heads. So there's environments that I've walked into many times in my life where I'm just like, I'm not talking about politics with this person because I'm only here temporarily and I don't need to butt heads with this person. So you need keep all that in mind, regardless of what company you're going to, regardless who you're working for. Just those are that's some food for thought before you walk into a mentorship. All right. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you got any horror stories, I want to hear about them. Like, share, subscribe. Common sense ain't common.